clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Second and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Flush to his right. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Cedric Thompson on the tackle. A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now it's Lockett. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a dump off here complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
11 yards there, 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On first down, Carson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Second down and goal. Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal.
Squeeze, double.
Now it's Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They run. It's Mark Ingram. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram churning. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Wilson now off the bootleg. blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Judon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
It's complete to Jerron Brown. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either
not
way.
the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Mike, 55. Check 55. Mike. I got you.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the pass.
They run from the pistol with Ingram. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he fires one incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. Now this throw caught left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Ingram. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 11 at the 17-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun. Jackson being chased out left. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses. And excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Let's go! Let's go! At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
He's coming, double up.
They run it with Carson, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will take over at their own 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ingram. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there. First down. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year. Led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Again, Jackson steps away to his left. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Jackson, always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Ingram. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Dixon running from the shotgun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37.
First down, Baltimore.
Jackson now, 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. From the gun, Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And this would have been returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again? Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Matt Judon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go double count right here, double count.
Mike, 48. Okay, double up.
To throw is Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 27-yard line. Wilson. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Myers' kick is good. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
You can't block me.
Now it's Wilson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Wilson leaves this one with Penning. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tim Williams makes the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 26.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Wilson now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And an alley to run. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Listen.
Kill, turn up.
On second down now, it's Carson, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
14.
Here's Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13.
12.
Hey, look, 48. Hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And Dixon has it. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now he'll escape to his left. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Jackson now. And he's got his man on the out route. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Second year with the Ravens for Hurst. He didn't have the rookie season he was hoping for, just 13 catches. Remember, he's older than the average second-year player. He spent 2 seasons as a pitcher in minor league baseball before hanging up the glove and heading to the gridiron. Now he says he's more determined than ever. Put on 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Says he's on a mission with a lot to prove this year. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Roberts with it over the middle. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Jackson now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Tucker with the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go. First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Wilson, quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again, Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Again, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And we've got a dandy here, a 1-point game as we begin the 4th. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now it's Carson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Penny, a first down carry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jerron Brown. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. Here's Wilson. Escapes the sack. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Gets fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because...
And this will be caught at the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Ingram. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And Jackson throwing once more. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Bobby Wagner. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Green 80.
We got Mike the 48 right now. Let's go. Hey, here we go. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Now Wilson back into his end zone. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he's only able to get it up to about the 2-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Alert.
Hey, we're going Mike 40, Mike 40.
I'm coming for the side.
To throw from his end zone, Wilson. And that is incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Jones on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 47-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. That's good for 28 yards. Well, they have had no answer for this connection all night long.
Yeah, you just have to think in a 2-minute situation, that's got to be a concentration lapse. You know they're going to go back to him with the game that he's been having.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
Stay with your man.
They'll look to throw. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
That's good for another Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Wilson. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. 25 yards that time. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
On first down, Carson. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Let's go double count right here, double count.
They'll try to run with Carson. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 31-yard line.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Seahawks, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3 and 4 through 7 games. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.